gets to drive the 13 mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Stand by. I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing. I'm Roger Brehm, and we have Terry O'Connell and Jason Langley in the background over here, and we have Timothy Peters already on the line. Hey Timothy, how's it going?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Oh goodness. I forgot about this. Stand by. We're going crazy here. Anyway, got like I said, Jason Langley. He runs street stock out here at Langley Speedway. I think you've met Terry before, haven't you?
I don't know if I met Timothy, but we've talked on the show a couple of times. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, go ahead and do the short bio so that the new listeners get a chance to know something about you.
Yep. Just got started racing go-karts when I was 8, and ran those from 90 to 94, and moved over in the legend cars, 95 to 97, and won a bunch in go-karts, legend cars. Got my break to run late model in 1997, and ran late models from 97 to 2004, winning over 50 races in late model and 3 consecutive championships, and got my first break in 2005 at Bobby Hamilton Racing was in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and the rest is kind of history. I've been fortunate and really proud to say that I've been able to be in the NASCAR ranks, the top 3 series, one of the top 3 series since 2005. So it's been an awesome career.
Good deal. Now, tell us a little bit about the Red Horse Racing deal and your drivers that you got with you that are your teammates.
Well, I joined Red Horse in June of 2009 and had a sky's been the limit ever since. Great opportunity that Tom DeLoach has given me in Toyota, and have 2 good teammates, Parker Kligerman and Todd Bodine. So it's a great organization to be affiliated with, and we've got 2 wins this year from the 17 truck, and Todd's been to victory lane, and the 7 team has been to victory lane with a different driver. So it's been a great year for the organization.
Now, what's your take on Parker? Because Parker's stepped in, and he's definitely looks like he's been stepping it up a notch on everybody.
Parker's been doing good. That's just a testament to our equipment.
Absolutely.
So he's he kind of ran middle of the road where he was at. Not saying that he was in bad equipment, but it makes the guys at Red Horse Racing pump their chest out to know that their product is top quality. So it's a great testament to the team.
How are you with Parker? You staying pretty much talkative with him, trading back ideas, or are y'all running different setups?
No, we're pretty much the 7 and the 17 leave the shop pretty close to identical. So we're not sitting there talking about setups every week or what he's having for dinner or nothing like that. But that's the good part about having multiple teammates is that if Parker or I'm struggling or Todd's struggling, we can all go to one another and just feed off of you. It's just a product of a multi-truck team, and that's another notebook, so it works out well.
Now, where are y'all heading this weekend?
We're headed off to Talladega.
Out to Talladega. What do you think about Talladega?
Well, it kind of speaks for itself,
Yeah, exactly. Do you look forward to going, or is it just like, oh, we just gotta go get this done and over with? How do you feel about that?
Well, I like speedway racing, but you never know. I guess the Forrest Gump phrase, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's the way you got to look at Talladega and Daytona. You don't know what's going to happen. Everybody talks about if the big one happens. They didn't know if, it's when. So you just got to place yourself, make sure you're not in it. And as Bobby Hamilton used to say, if you unload the truck, you'll have a good finish, and that's the way we have to look at Talladega.
Right.
Are you on the cell phone or are you on a regular phone?
Cell phone. Yeah,
Huh?
cell phone.
Oh, okay, for some reason you dropped out for a second there after you said Bobby Hamilton said, and that was it.
No, what I was saying was that, Bobby Hamilton had a really good phrase that, if you unload your truck off of the hauler, complete 100% of the laps on the lead lap, and you can load it back up the same way you unload it, you'll always have a good finish. So that's what we're looking at Talladega.
That's right.
There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Timothy, this is Jason Langley. I just wanted to ask you, that Las Vegas track, it looked fast on TV. Was it as fast as it looked?
It's really fast. They altered the configuration 2007, repaved it, put the banking in it, but it's a lot of bumps. It's really rough, and it's a lot of technique and little tricks that you know about the track that you work towards making your Tundra better. So it's fun to race with. It's definitely a racetrack that you're pretty close to being 100% throttle all the laps of the race. So
Wow.
It's pretty intense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Roger, I think Roger's wants you to give him a ride at Talladega.
It'd be more fun at Martinsville.
Put some left side weight in the car for you.
Oh, I definitely put some left side weight. He knows that.
Yeah, well, we'll give anybody a ride. I just hope the policy is nobody has any blood pressure medication because it will
That's
go
right.
up.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have to worry about that anymore. I quit racing. I don't need blood pressure medicine anymore.
I heard that.
Hey, question. Since he was talking about Vegas, now I didn't know this, but there's a hamburger joint out there called In-N-Out.
Right?
Have you had and partaken some of the sustenance?
Oh yeah, we as soon as we landed and got our luggage and our rental car, that's the first place we stopped at. You got lunch.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I heard they have a secret menu too.
Well, they have a secret sauce. Secret sauce is Thousand Island.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's just it's the In-N-Out is a big West Coast deal. It's kind of like if you ever been in Carolina. I don't think they're out that far in Virginia where you guys are at. Not to say that Virginia Beach is far out, but I don't think the cookout has made it your way. But if you're in North Carolina, cookout is everywhere, and the cookout is the same similarity to an In-N-Out.
Right. Absolutely.
Check that out.
Yeah, good. The cookout here in North Carolina is the same as In-N-Out, in my opinion. They have great burgers, sweet tea is really good, fries.
Yeah.
In-N-Out is really good. It's just the nostalgia of it, I guess, just to say that you've been there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, with the races coming up, I know this puts it hard on you. What do you think your best chances are getting some good finishes are on the tracks coming up to help move you back up and get you back up in the top on the points?
Right.
Well, you just kind of look at it as we can't have no more bad luck, and everybody else has kind of got to have a little bad luck. But if they don't, it's going to come down to the checker flag at Homestead.
Right.
You go into Talladega this week, and I'm one of 36 competitors that are going to be running door to door, bumper to bumper, 3 wide racing, and from first to 36, there's probably going to be, a second apart. That's how close it's going to be. Again, you go back to the big one. This is a wild card. This is going to be the game changer. The guys that are in front of me, they could have some bad luck. They may not. I could have bad luck. I may not. You don't ever know. But the thing about it is that the man upstairs already knows who the champion is going to be. We just have to go to the racetrack. Hopefully we don't have no bad luck. Execute. Look forward to what's going to happen when we get to Homestead. And, hey, if we get to Homestead and that dealer turns over ace queen or ace jack, then I'm going to be hoisting up the trophy. But if not, we ain't have a bad season at all.
No. I totally agree.
You've had a really good season, but I like rooting for you. I like to see you out front. And I know you like the Martinsville track, so I'm looking to seeing you probably be popping out there in front of most of the guys there, because you seem to really excel on the shorter tracks.
Well, I like all of them, but I'm more in my element when I get to a short track, just because that's what I grew up on. I really like it. I think it's great racing. I think it puts it back in the driver's hands, and you don't have to depend on all the aero stuff that you run into at these 1.5-mile races. It's it's kind of like drag racing. The more money you spend, the faster you go.
It's true.
I'd like to see more short tracks get put back on the schedule, because a lot of mechanicals comes back into it, and the aero kind of takes a sideline, and it goes back to the driver, and it goes back to field and communication, and that's what the Truck Series is all about.
Yeah. Now, I hear you're going to be playing out at Martinsville here in the next couple of weeks.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I understand you've been testing and working with a late model out here at Martinsville. Tell us about that.
I'm strictly spectating and wrenching a little bit. Blake Stallings, he's like my little brother. Steve Stallings' his son. He's racing out there. Matt Bolin.
Yeah.
That's who we're trying to help. So it's just great to be at Martinsville. Number one, just because of the racetrack. I love being there. I love late model stock racing. I love this time of year because all the points championships is wrapped up, and now it's time to see who's going to be the one to beat at these big races. And Martinsville's first on the pedestal, so it's cool to be there today. It's like I said, I like showing up to Martinsville wearing the driving suit a lot better than doing the wrenching part of it. But it's cool to be there and helping young talent like Matt and Blake and see those guys do well today.
Well, it works good for you because you're not that far from the track anyway, if I remember correctly.
No, it's about 20 minutes from my house to the racetrack.
Wow. Martinsville's one of my favorite tracks. I love driving down to the track through the little neighborhood. I think that's just cool. It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a lot of history there. The hot dogs are a hot topic. So
they are.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I know it.
Hey Timothy, it's Jason again. Sprint Cup and Nationwide, they run road courses during the season. Do you think trucks should do it as well?
There's a lot of talk about that for next year. There's a lot of talk that we could go to Mosport in Canada, and then there's another opportunity to go to Mid-Ohio. That's just all hearsay, but I'm a firm believer when there's smoke, there's fire. So it'd be very cool to kind of mix up a little bit. So, but if they put it on the schedule, it's kind of
you got to do it.
well, you gotta. It really and truly doesn't make sense to do one. You really have to do two.
Right.
The extent, because they want to make it to where you run a short track, truck, and that's all fine and dandy. But everything that we have, as far as body and chassis, it's set up to turn left, not left and right. So you'd have to completely build a new truck from the ground up, and to justify the expense, it makes more sense to run two. So but it would be a one-off type chassis, just like the super speedway stuff. You run Daytona and you put your trucks in storage until about 3 months ago, and you pull them back out and you start fluffing and buffing and hit the Daytona. So road course would be cool.
Absolutely.
And get some good practice time down at VIR too.
Yep, and it just so happens to be right here in my backyard, so
Right.
I'm ready.
I knew that. Nice when you know a few
Yeah.
things. Well, let me go ahead and let you get going. I know you got some more stuff you're going to be doing out there, and we'll go ahead and let you get off with your sponsors there, and I will be probably seeing you at Martinsville.
All right, bud. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and again, it's just a testament to Red Horse Racing and Toyota, what those guys do. And we did have strutmasters.com on our truck at Las Vegas, so he's been a long-time friend and a supporter to help me get to where I'm at. So all that stuff helps. Everybody that's helped me out this year and in the past to help me get to where I'm at. It's greatly appreciated.
And
Cool.
we're going to send out all the good karma we can to see that points climb back up.
Right. You don't want yourself on TV. It is bad luck.
Well, this is not TV on the internet.
I know.
Talk to you later, Timothy.
All right, thanks,
All
guys.
All
right.
right, bye-bye.
See
Take
ya.
care.
Cool. Yeah, he's got a hard road to hoe to get back on those points, but they could have the same bad luck that he's had over
Yeah.
the next few races
Right.
too. And it's the same thing in the Sprint Cup. Or keep on talking about it's the top three at the top,
Right.
but guess what?
Yeah.
All they got to do is have one bad race like
Yes.
Gordon had,
Mhm.
and they're right back in. Then there's like 4 or 5 of them right back in the gig.
I think
So-
he's only like 26 points back,
Right.
so it's not.
No,
Big
it's,
thing.
it's,
It's not
it's
impossible.
doable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all he could do is he could be leading at Talladega, and somebody else crashes behind him, and it happens to collect a couple other drivers, and
Right.
then, and he's right back out there again.
I'm
It helps
just
to have
saying.
teammates as well.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. Klingerman's what, in fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth, fifth.
So
Well,
he's,
yeah, he had a bad race there at Vegas.
Self-induced.
Yeah, he drove in that corner a little too hard.
He was in a hurry. He was running out of time. That's okay though. He's young.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing stuff like that. I thought the truck race in Vegas was awesome.
It was
Though.
one of the better races, yes.
PK he had Brazilian fire in his eyes at the end. He was not going to be denied.
At least it didn't come down to fuel mileage this time.
Thank
But-
goodness. I hate those fuel mileage races. I hate them.
I mean, is the fuel mileage race the thing because somebody's just going to luck into it, or that
It's all
somebody
about
actually
strategy.
skillfully does
Right.
strategize?
Yeah.
I think NASCAR should call do a phantom caution with 30 to go and just let them race.
Water bottle.
Yeah, water bottle.
Yeah, I was when I was watching it this weekend. I sat there and said, "Okay, where's the water bottle?
I know. It never
Somebody needs
showed
to throw a
up.
water bottle." But with all the cameras everywhere now, they're going to snag you.
I
Yeah.
know.
So
I know.
either
Anyway.
have to have something that you can pull a little.
A little trap door on James Bond.
Right. But gas mileage has been a big player in long races since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
The Indy 500 was notorious for tire management and gas mileage, even back in the 20s, and the 30s, and 40s. It's always been that way.
Now here's the thing: what about if you got a hybrid car that's part electric, part gas?
Maybe that's what Keselowski's got.
Keselowski's just that good.
He's just that good.
Oh god!
Keselowski fan. No, I
Yeah.
think Brad Kay could win this championship.
Yeah, I think
do.
this is his year.
I think he really could. Because first of all, he's confident enough, and you can already see you can't get in his head. He doesn't care. He just has that, I don't care, I'm going to race you hard. Whereas there's some other drivers out there that in the past have let it get to him, and Brad just doesn't have that. It's just not his nature, So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. So Dale Earnhardt Jr.
What do we want to talk about Dale Earnhardt Jr. for?
Overhyped, hyped enough. Is NASCAR's whole marketing program built around him? Are they going to live and die by what Dale does or Danica does? How do you feel about that?
It's amazing. He wins like the Olympics every 4 years.
Right.
But
right.
And he's. I guess the sport revolves around him. It's amazing how this sport has just come to take the golden boy and just put him on a pedestal, all because
of his family name.
His family name.
Family
I mean,
heritage.
don't get me wrong. I was a huge Senior fan.
Sure.
And I never liked Junior from the Nationwide series.
Right.
Formerly Busch series.
Well, you know, is the thing about it, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he did have this legacy.
Right.
And he did inherit his father's fans to some degree, and fans of his own. But do you think the lack of performance creates a asterisk out beside his career?
Yeah.
To some degree.
To some degree, yes.
Sure.
I mean,
because this sport's not easy to do anyway.
No,
you still got to be able to compete.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I mean, he should have more wins than he should.
Right.
Driving for Hendrick.
Right.
I believe if you put anybody else in that car, they can make more wins.
Right.
Right.
Well, he's got that blue. He has this. He has this. I'm just like you.
Right.
I'm a regular dude. I'm everybody's blue collar friend.
The sport is all. I mean, you have to have wins to stay alive.
Sure.
I mean, the Junior's not cutting it.
No.
He's just out there. I mean, yes, he made the chase this year. Yes, this, that, and the other. But
so, what do you think, Raj?
Well, he's been really consistent.
He's been consistent this year.
And that's a big thing to, at least, like you said, getting into the chase.
Right.
Sure.
But I think this year was a fluke.
Okay.
They're just new crew chief, I believe. I could probably put money on it next year. It won't happen, but
right. Right.
And also him and Danica. I mean, Danica's the worst driver out there. Just bring it. I mean, the only good thing is they're bringing money to the sport.
That's true. You know, you got one thing that we all do have to understand. It is an entertainment business.
Yeah.
And you know and also too, you got to understand that IMG, who is the management group for Danica, is also the management group for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Right.
And the former top executive of NASCAR owns IMG.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, there's some branding, business to business relationship that they're doing. And they obviously made a conscious decision that this is who they wanted to market.
Right. I mean, it must be nice to have GoDaddy buy all her cars for her.
Right.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, Montreal was a very bad thing that happened to her. I mean, was uncalled for by any fan to do that to her. But
but
she causes bad luck on herself.
Well, but also too, the Phantom shoe did not cause that. She had already drug the bottom of the car off and run over the curves.
She messed up the car on the curves.
Right. Well, those curves were rough there in Montreal as well.
And I mean, she admitted that. So, but you know, it was also too. It was kind of building an excuse around her personal mistake.
Right.
You know, and I think the John Q and Susie Q public are catching on to these things. Is that bad for NASCAR? Is that good for NASCAR? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's great for our sport because it's bringing, you could say, newer fans. But when when Junior and Danica doesn't live up to that,
right?
It just.
I.e. Johanna Long.
Yeah, yeah. Joanna, she's coming along really well in that 70 car.
Right, and she's the real deal.
Yeah, she's gonna make it in the sport.
Yeah.
I see her doing a whole lot better than Tammy Jo Kirk and Patty Moise.
Sure.
She's got a good head on her shoulders.
All she needs to do now is get more bucks behind her.
Yeah,
I mean, if somebody helped her out financially, she would be one heck of a race car driver.
Right. she'd be a top 10 runner every weekend.
Every weekend.
Clearly, she qualified in the top 10 every
Oh, yeah.
weekend. So, but you know, it's one of those things. It's like it comes down to branding.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
You know, and that's the difficult part of the sport. It's not bring your talent in the tennis racket and then get after it. This is about bringing millions of dollars and all the technology you can afford to buy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what creates it.
I mean, she had luck in Indy cars. Don't get me wrong. She was a good, decent Indy car driver, but she stepped in these full body stock cars, and I haven't seen maybe twice this year that she's shown any true talent.
Right.
And
Well-
it begs to figure out, is it the talent or is it the vehicle?
The vehicle, I'm not gonna say I can run. But-
Brad Sweet is
Yeah.
outperforming her, and he has
Right.
less experience in these cars than she does. And these are coming out of the same shop. I think it comes a point to her career or anybody's career. You got to
Right.
quit making excuses for them. Except for the problem she's got there is that all of NASCAR's marketing is built around her, so they try to find every possible way to put a positive spin on a negative situation. They're boxed in with her.
It's kind of hard to make a positive a 35th finish, but that's
Well,
just
I
me.
mean,
They did this weekend.
I don't know if you know it, but at every track she's at, she's in the media center at least once,
Right.
whether she wants to be or not.
They want
NASCAR
her
says,
You gotta go.
go to it. She's there.
It's a.
You run out of questions to ask the poor girl.
I know. She's under a microscope,
Right.
but
I mean-
that's a choice they made.
I wish no bad luck on nobody.
No.
Never.
Right.
But if you ain't running up to par,
It's true.
then you're not. I don't know.
It's true. Anyway, so who's going to win the championship?
This year in the Sprint Cup, let's see.
Let's see.
Two things pop up on your mind. Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
that's what it
Two
was.
things.
Brad Keselowski's going to get it this year.
Yeah.
He's got, like we said, we got the fire, the determination. Nothing
Sure.
rattles his cage.
Sure.
It ain't going to come down to the last race at Homestead by any chance.
Yeah.
He ain't going to wrap it up before Homestead, no. But I guarantee a top 3 finish from Talladega.
Sure.
Maybe a win. We'll call it Vegas. But
Right. That's all right. Who do you see from mid-pack to the back
See that coming forward?
can still kind of plow their way back up front? I think Gordon can if they keep the performances there, but he's got to have them, the top 3,
Right.
have bad races. Do you think Tony can? Tony's not. He's been off a couple of races here from a performance standpoint.
Hopefully he's shaking that, put it behind him, and start
Sure.
getting back out front again like
Sure.
last year.
Sure. Because last weekend they were off big time,
Yeah.
and you can't plow your way back up if your technology's off. And that's the only thing I know that from a standpoint of his ability, he can do it.
Yeah.
But have they got off their technology, their engineering mark, to the point that they can't get back up into that top 5, which they got to do week after week after week. Because actually, when you stop and look at it, the top 3 or 4 finishers have been the top 3 or 4 finishers in every one of the races, the chase races. Even including Gordon, who had that throttle spring break, but he would have been 3rd or 4th that day, and he would be 3rd in points if you just look at what it was. So if Tony can do that, he can put the heat on him.
Yeah.
I think.
Be good to see.
Yeah, me too.
Jason, tell us about your racing career. Give us a little bio.
Little
just
bio.
Like we do with all the other drivers. Kick out a bio there about yourself.
Well, I got started back in 2003 out at Langley Speedway. But really, let's take that back. Let's go back to 2002. I was still living with my parents. I believe I still was. But I told my dad I'm heading to Norfolk. He goes, what are you heading to Norfolk for? I'm going to visit a buddy. So I go run out there to Norfolk, look at this race car. How much you want for it? X amount of dollars, shelled it out, boom, laid it on the table. Had no way to bring it home. So I called
the plan had a little bit of a problem.
Yeah. We called the cheapest tow truck in the nation. Got it from Norfolk to Newport News at $35. Imagine that one.
Not bad.
So So the next day he woke up. He goes, "Really, what were you doing in Norfolk?" Because my uncle was with me at the time. And so I said, "Well, I bought a race car." He goes, "Okay, let me go look at it." Get it in the daylight. We find out the frame is turned to the left. The roll bars are barely welded into the car. You can shake the roll bar right out of it. He said, if you're really wanting to race, we'll get one together for you, and we'll get you out there. So then next year, 2003, we were working on it. Missed the first race of the season. I don't know how that happened, but 2003 was you always get that first year jitters. Second year, I think 2004. I think we ran 9th in points that year. Had a good, decent year. Stayed consistent. 2005 was wishy-washy. 2006 was starting to be a great year. 2006 started off, we were running top 5 in points till June of that year. During this race in June, the week before, we set up the car perfect. We had the weight down, we had the stagger down, all this, that, and the other down. Go out there and run this race. We're starting second. Best car I've had all year. I think it was 8-9 laps into it. I had the biggest wreck in my career. I went down the back straightaway. Car drove straight up in front of me, hit him at full blast.
Ouch.
So I'm running fourth. After I hit him, I said, "Well, I need to get out of the car. I think the car's on fire." I said, "No, wait. I'm running fourth. The whole field's behind me." Next thing I know, I get hit from the rear again, and tore up a very good race car that year. We came back.
Was Steve Dill still running back then?
Steve Dill was still running back then. Then 2007 rolled around. Next to last year, I think we ran 7th that year. Ran a pretty good schedule. 2008 rolled around. A lot of things started to change.
Should have snagged one of Steve's cars.
Oh, I know. The 2008 season, it was a very rough year. I mean, I started to, I wouldn't say I hated racing, but it wasn't fun anymore. Everybody, I mean, we didn't have our heads in the game.
Right.
So at the end of the 2000, well, it could have been, maybe it was the mid 2008 season. We hung it up, sold the car about a year and a half ago. But I think future's looking bright. We're going to get one together for next year.
Oh, great. Yeah.
See that 54 car back out on the track.
Yeah. So is 54 a family number?
No, 54, I've had it for a very long time, back from Little League Baseball all the way up to now.
Sure.
Maybe because that show, Car 54, Where Are You?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Is that what they're saying on the radios? Where are you?
Well, if you want to hear another interesting story, back in 2003 when we started racing, one of my habits is 2 races before my race, I strap into the car, full gear on and everything, and fall asleep.
Okay.
And I get to my car, take a nap. They call for the Super Streets to come out there. So I said, okay. I realized I don't have my jacket on, or my fire retardant suit on. I didn't fill up the car with gas. I didn't torque the wheels. So I still had to wait 5 minutes, and they're all calling for Car 54. Where are you? It's fun.
Chuck probably had a good time with that one.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go, Chuck.
I'm trying to remember if I was out there when they were doing that or not.
That's pretty good, though. That's a good story.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a couple big fans out there that always shake their hands when I go out there. And that's all the reason I went out there. I had fun. I love the fans. That's what I'm there for.
Sure.
The biggest thing that I tell anybody, I don't care what division you run, whether it's cup all the way down to karts, if you're not having fun, you're not going to do as good as you could.
That's right. That's right.
And I've even told that to the TS guy.
Right. I mean, if you're not having fun, there's no sense in really even doing it, because it's
too expensive, it's too stressful, and it's dangerous. So it's a dangerous curve.
But we learn to live with it. We know it's out there.
Right. Cool. Gets in your blood, though.
Oh yeah, and it's slowly creeping back in my blood now. After this little hiatus.
It's like a little mosquito that keeps on
Do an interview on Terry here.
No, I'm good. I'm
No.
good.
Well, she's got a good color on. She's wearing purple.
That's
That's my
right.
favorite color.
Purple's my color. It's a family color, actually. My dad's midgets were all painted purple back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Everybody heard that one?
Yeah, you got that one. You sure? Can you repeat that for
yeah.
us?
Let
in
me
case I
write
didn't
that,
hear
let me
it?
write that one out. Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what kind of racing have you done?
Well, let's see what I haven't done.
Haven't done.
I've done Sprint Cup. I've done American Le Mans. I've done ARCA.
Mm-hmm.
I've done World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. I've done karting, midgets, super modifieds, you name it, through the years.
So you
And I
experienced. Oh, go ahead.
Now we're in sprint cars in Knoxville, Iowa all season.
Oh, wow.
And we're working on a deal to do a late model for the 100 lapper here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a all-female driving team for the 24 Hours of Daytona right now that we're full in with, and hopefully to do about half the nationwide series next year. So,
Good deal.
and I think I'm going to go back to Knoxville and run the sprint car again. So,
So
fun stuff.
So have you experienced the flip yet?
Oh
yeah. Yeah, okay.
It's not when you flip. It's not if you flip. It's when you flip. Right. Oh yeah.
That's something I haven't experienced yet. Well, I've not found any wood yet. But no kidding.
Right. They put a couple in the parking lot this year at Knoxville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's about you go off in the corner at Knoxville. It's a 5/8 mile. I don't know how familiar with it is, but it's got about 15 degrees of banking, and you run around there wide open. I mean, you run around there wide open. It's a 410 cubic inch, 1,000 horsepower. So you guys kind of got to live and die by doing that. And so you enter the corner there at a good 140, and
The kicker outside with.
they'll put them. They'll
Catch a rut.
Yeah, and then they in the parking lot. It's you don't know if they're going to live or not when they go over. But a couple of the young boys did it this year, and it's like, oh man, it was like, holy smokes.
Well, Kyle Larson had a bad rollover here.
He did. He did.
That was one of the scary ones.
And it was a non-wing thing too. What got me on that was the same thing that kind of happened to, I don't know if you're familiar with Paige Jones, but Parnady Jones's younger son, Paige, was the Kyle Larson 10 years ago. He was the Kyle Larson. And at Eldora in a midget, same thing happened, and he had brain damage. He was done. And Kyle Larson's PR person is the person I work with too.
Right.
And I sent her an email on Monday and said, well, is he okay? And do you think maybe this is a wake-up call for him just to go stick and focus 100% on stock cars? Because he is on a path to do this.
Okay.
He's going to do the stock car deal. He's already won a K&N East race this year. I mean, this kid's going to be in Cup in 3 years. Okay. No doubt about it. So why put yourself in harm's way?
Right.
Because it could have turned out like Paige Jones did.
Yeah, there's used to be, because I know at Langley we've had where some of the Cup drivers have come and run some of the late models out there.
Sure.
Right.
And when I was racing back then, Elliott Sadler was going to be coming out, and I told Elliott he could use my car if he wanted to.
Sure.
And when I talked with him, he said, no, boss man said, I ain't going to run nothing except what I'm running now, and that's it.
It comes down to the point. Sprint cars are fun. Everybody likes to do them. That's the reason they do them.
Right.
And you can make a fairly decent living at it. I mean, honestly, you can make big money at it. And Kyle has been doing that. However, a non-wing sprint car is about the craziest freaking thing you could do in the history of the world. I'm just being honest with you. They are fun.
So
I've
like
done
part
that.
one or part two?
Part two.
So I should scratch Super Street.
Well, besides Super Street. So.
Well, no, I'm just saying scratch off.
Because the thing about it, they're going really, really fast, and they're going to get upside down, and there's almost no protection.
Right.
And the way he was hit right in the cage, upside down.
Well, how Shane Mills deal with that?
Shane Mill, same thing. They're fun. It's a brave thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
However, if you got a career that's going to transcend into, making $6 or $7 million a year and having a 25-year career at that level, and Kyle has the ability to do that, maybe you go, okay, time out. I don't want to do this. Maybe his handlers need to say that to him.
Right.
Say, look, we're going to take you over here. We need to. Jeff Gordon did that. Once he got over here, he never went back.
No.
Tony does, but Tony doesn't run any non-wing stuff except for the Chili Bow Nationals midget.
Yeah.
Everything he runs is with a wing on it, and that's a dynamically different situation running a sprint car with a wing versus running one not with a wing. Because when you get upside down without a wing, you see what happens.
See what happens.
And even though with a wing it's crazy.
Right.
But anyway, that's just racing's not safe any way you look at it. But you have to make a decision.
Well, they got right there a warning right there on the helmets and seatbelts.
That's right. Your numbers on the floor pan.
Let's see. When you go into the track, you sign a form already.
That's
Racing is a dangerous sport.
It's true.
Dumbass, jump in here.
That's right.
It's all in your own.
It's true.
Well, I mean,
It's true.
racing. I mean, it's been dangerous its whole
Yeah.
span.
It's
you know?
not tennis.
No.
We love tennis.
Yeah.
We
I
love
love
tennis.
both.
I got tennis
But
elbow.
it's a completely different situation. There's so much more to lose,
Oh, yeah.
financially, physically. So anyway,
They get you mentally already.
mentally it's a different story.
Into head games. Oh,
That's
no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that will be our next caller of the evening.
All right, who might this be, Raj?
How's it going, Grant?
I'm doing good, Roger. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. Got Jason Langley and Terry O'Connell with me here tonight. We have a fun time for everybody as usual. We've got Grant Enfinger on the line with us now. And for those that don't know anything about you, go ahead and do your little bit of bio with us. Everybody that's new and hasn't heard of you will now know of you.
Yeah.
A new improved Grant Enfinger. Here
Right.
we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on the show tonight.
Great, absolutely. So, what's your background, Grant?
I'm from the southeast, down in Lower Alabama, and came up through the go-karts and legend cars and late model range, and been doing the ARCA stuff and trying to work our way to the truck stuff for the last couple of years. So, been blessed with some good opportunities here of late, and trying to make the most out of all of them.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, I got a good quick question for you. How did it feel to be out there leading in the truck race finally?
Oh, that did feel good. Unfortunately, it was a little short-lived. We had a really good regional power on Dodge Ram this weekend for Brad Keselowski racing. So that was first off, that was just a great opportunity for me in the truck series, and being in some really, really good equipment like that felt really good. But yeah, I took the lead, and in the next corner, I about lost it. So,
I know the feeling.
It's one
Right.
of the things, you look good for a little bit, and then you got to hang on for the rest of the race.
That's right.
No, I was for the whole race, though. I mean, Las Vegas is such a really, really fast track. And trying to go out there without lifting is really hard, especially in dirty air. And I thought since I got the clean air and got the lead, it'd be fine. It got about wiped out big time. But able to say that, we lost a little track position, and then Doug Randolph, the crew chief, made some really good calls, and we were going to be in good position at the end. And we ended up having to come in and take 4 tires after one of the wrecks. But, it was still a great opportunity. We finished 12th. In my opinion, we were probably a 6th or 8th place truck. But, a little disappointed in the finish, but really, really happy with how everything went and how everybody worked good together. And we were able to survive the few big ones that they had out there. And it was really a good weekend.
Cool beans. So I'm interested to know on how you got hooked up with Brad. I think that's really cool.
Question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I took his question away from him. So how did you and Brad get hooked up
back
together?
over there, children.
Right. Sorry.
It was actually a deal earlier on this year when stuff was not going quite as good. I was doing a start card in Rockingham, and their general manager, Wayne Fetterington, came and talked to me a little bit there, and we just kind of shot the breeze a little bit. And then they had some shake-ups over there at their team about a month or a month and a half ago, and I parked a chair in front of their office and made them talk to me. So, it was just an opportunity where Ryan Blaney's in the truck,
until the end of the year, but he was in Dover around the Nationwide card. Kemblowski was obviously in Dover doing the Cup deal. You know, it was kind of a weird schedule with the truck. So it was an opportunity for them to give me a shot, and like you said, I'm definitely blessed to be able to have done that. You know, hopefully we'll spring forward some other good things to come out of that run.
Cool beans.
Hey Grant, this is Jason. Can you tell me a little bit of the difference between running between ARCA and the trucks? A little bit of the setups and all that?
You know, setup-wise, obviously it's a little different, but the biggest thing is the air. You know, ARCA, it's still, a lot of people don't know this, but until actually a few months ago, ARCA runs the same motors as Cup. So we have a lot of horsepower in ARCA car. Trucks, they don't have hardly any. You know, it feels like, you know, you got a couple plug wires off. They run what's basically a restrictor blade. They run a tapered spacer, and it cuts down a couple hundred horsepower. So the trucks at Las Vegas, being that they block such a big hole in the air and are down on horsepower, you're right at wide open. You know, in clean air under perfect conditions. So it's almost like Daytona or Talladega, only you're on the edge just by yourself. So you get trucks out there and you have to lift a little bit. And I would say the number one difference is not the 200 horsepower in the motor, it's the air, though. When you get around all these other trucks, just because they block such a big hole, you know, it disturbs the side force you have and the down force, and you really don't know what's coming next. You know, one minute somebody's at your left rear quarter panel and, you know, making you tight, and the next minute they're at your right rear and you're free, and there's too much information that the spotter can't dictate all that to you. So you're really on your toes a lot more in traffic.
Now, how many more races you going to get to do with Brad?
You know, that was a one race deal in Las Vegas, so hopefully some other stuff comes out of it. But you know, that was a one race deal. So hoping to be able to put some stuff together, and we got some really good stuff. You know, nothing's in its final stages for next year, but I've really put a lot of focus on 2013. I've kind of been leaving week to week here this year and trying to put some solid stuff together to be in some really good equipment next year. So hoping to be able to do that some more next year. But I'm actually on the way back from Kansas right now. We tested a ARCA car for PCR yesterday at Kansas. So that'll be my next outing, October 19th, in an ARCA car.
Great.
Now, are you going to be at Martinsville for the truck race?
I do believe so. You know, I've had a lot of conversations with Mike Allgaier and everybody at Allgaier Motorsports. We're trying to put that together with the truck there, and we had a really good run with that truck with Allgaier last year. So trying to put that together, it's not 100% yet, but I know that the guys are working on the truck up there, and I'm going to help them in a couple weeks here. So you know, I wouldn't say it's 100%, but we're definitely working towards that.
Good deal, because planning on coming down and visiting a few of you guys down there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a really fun race. You know, obviously it's not very good for car owners. It's really good for body hangers, but it's a really fun race if you have some patience and things go your way. But yeah, definitely looking forward to if we get that deal put together 100%. I'm really going to look forward to that race.
Now, I got a question for you. When you arrived at Vegas, what was the first thing you did?
When we arrived at Vegas, I guess we got there at 9:30 Thursday morning. I actually went and took a nap. We had stayed up for a while working on this Kansas car for the Kansas test. I didn't get much sleep that night, so I actually took a nap. All the guys went out, you know, and partied it up a little bit, lost a little money, I think. But I was a sissy, I guess, and went to bed.
There's a few of the guys I know that went to the race there, and they all told me the first thing they were doing was going out and hitting the In-N-Out hamburger joint.
Yeah, I think we did stop it in and out on the way home from the airport.
Exactly.
I guess that is the first thing I did if you want to get technical.
Okay,
And
absolutely.
there was who was it we were talking to? Joey Coulter, I think, or
Yeah, you were talking to Joey.
yeah, we were talking to Joey, and some of the teams they actually send one of the crew members that goes to the In and Out and orders about 50 to 100 hamburgers to take back to the home race shop because they get back in there about 5 or 6 a.m. when they fly back in.
Yeah, I saw there was a few teams that went and got them at the racetrack too. So I saw a few guys eating after lunch when we were there for practice. So yeah, that's one of those places you can't find that on the East Coast like we're used to. So I guess that's one of those things that's kind of a tradition for all these race teams to go to the In-N-Out Burger.
We had Timothy Peters on earlier, and that's what he said. First thing he did when he landed, they all went to In and Out.
Yeah. It's some greasy hamburgers.
Yeah.
So what else you got coming up here with your racing stuff? I know you said you got an ARCA race coming up.
Yeah. We K-Site Motor Honey have come on board and they're doing the ARCA race in Kansas for us. So that's October 19th. Like I said, hope to be at Martinsville October 27th, and then we'll for sure be at the Snowball Derby in the first week of December. So that's what we got on the schedule for right now. So that's three races with 3 different teams and 3 different series. So
Busy.
We trying to be another Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson.
Hoping for 2013 we have a little more consistency and working on building some bigger things. But right now that's the hand that's dealt, and like I said, been getting some opportunities here, so we can make the most of them.
Yeah, hopefully pop it out in front. That was definitely an eye opener to a lot of people. I mean, you did get a lot of good airtime. I don't know if you watched the race later or not.
No, I haven't. I did hear we got a little TV time there, and like I said, those trucks are so different. I'm still learning about the air. That move, like I said, it worked, and then it almost didn't work in a big way. So, it was definitely learned a lot. I haven't been on a mile and a half with those trucks, so it's definitely a lot different than what I was used to, and learned a whole lot. It was just great being with a really good, experienced team like DKR there. That they had all their ducks in a row. It was just a matter of picking up the speed. So, fortunately, I feel like we were able to do that halfway through practice, and feel like as a whole, everything went good for the weekend.
Hey Grant, this is Jason again. Can you tell me a little bit about running on dirt with a full body stock car, like from with the ARCA?
That's interesting. I'm actually going to help Kelly Cosby that always free chief for me whenever I run anything Algar Motorsports related. He's my free chief. He's a big dirt racer, and he runs big dirt ARCA races every year. And I'm going to Des Moines to help him in a couple of weeks before the Kansas race.
Right.
I'm, I was fortunate enough to run those races twice last year, and it's definitely different. Single groove on the bottom, 1 mile horse track. I mean,
Right.
It's not what you think of when you think of dirt track racing, but it's definitely interesting. It's definitely a lot of fun. I'm glad I don't do it every week, but it's definitely fun to get out there and do something new. It was the biggest thing for me is guessing what the track is going to do.
Right.
In asphalt, track changes a little bit. In dirt, track changes a lot all the time. So that was a big difference. It really took all the way through the first race into the practice of the second race at Des Moines before I really kind of came to my own and could actually give them good feedback to make the car better. I struggled with it a little bit at the beginning, but feel like I came around to it, and I'd like to have that opportunity again someday.
Well, what you need to do is next time you go to run on dirt, you need to call Terry here.
Yeah. I grew up on dirt. I ran Knoxville all year this year in a sprint car, so yeah, dirt.
Absolutely. And a lot of respect for anybody that does that. It's definitely a tough, and it's definitely a totally different animal. So it's a different breed of racing, but yeah, I think there's a lot of respect there.
It's fun. It's fun. Absolutely.
So, no, there's a lot of different aspects that go into it. You would think dirt, would be a little simpler, and I think in some terms it is, but a lot of terms they're not. Less rules, and you get more creative as a crew chief, and they get more creative as drivers too. So definitely, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of experience even in my younger days with it, but definitely some I respect, and I like to do more of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Grant, what do you call your home track?
I would say my home track is Mobile Speedway.
Right.
Being from about 40 minutes from there, I was right in between Mobile Speedway and Pensacola's Five Flags Speedway. So haven't run Mobile, but probably a few times in the last, I guess, 6 or 7 years. But I'd still call that my home track.
Is that the track you would love to run at the most if you could?
I wouldn't say that. I'd call it my home track, and it's definitely special in its own right. It's a really big, fast, half-mile oval, and, I really like it. I wouldn't say that's my favorite track. I've had a lot of great opportunities the last few years to experience, some really, really different places. And, Indiana, that is a really, really cool, fast, high-bank, rough, wear the tires out track. I really like it. Really like Pocono, being 3 different corners. Really like Rockingham. There's a few of those places that I've actually only been to a few times that I really enjoy and want a chance to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go to the inaugural race at Rockingham too?
I was actually there at the truck race earlier this year, and then at the ARCA race a couple of years ago. So really, obviously that track has a ton of history too. But just as a racer, being on that track, it's bigger than a short track. It's not all aero sensitive like all the mile-and-a-half tracks. Rough, worn out. You got to get tired. You can go to the bottom, you can go to the top, you can do a lot of stuff as a driver. So, that's one of those places I really, really enjoy and hope to have the chance to go back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Andy does a pretty good job at that place. We usually have him on a couple of times during the year. When we had the inaugural race coming, he popped up about 3 different times on the show, talking about it. Actually went down there and had a good time and visited with him and a lot of the other people, and got to talk with a lot of the other teams and drivers that we've had on the show. So had a pretty good time. I wish I'd have known you better back then. I'd have been able to stop by and say hi.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll have to ask Andy about me next time. This time last year we had him over playing iRace, and he slept on our couch.
That's great.
Give him a hard time about that.
He's a good guy. He is.
Yeah, he's
cool.
a really good guy, and they've done a lot with Rockingham.
Right.
I know the whole town really loves them for that. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to hopefully another run at that track. I know that they just announced that the truck series will be back there again next year.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I really wish him a lot of success.
Yeah, if you really want to see something funny, was out there a couple of years ago when the Hooters, not the Hooters, USARA and you guys were in the ARCA series. It was the final race, and was down there and just happened to be filming one of the teams out there, and I the first time I ever seen the pit stop from hell. I recorded the whole thing. If you go watch it, it's on YouTube. It's hilarious. The guy goes in for a single tire change and goes 4 laps down.
Yeah, I've been there.
I hope it wasn't you I was filming.
It's really funny. How is that? That's tough. We've all had those bad times.
I know.
No, our last ARCA race in Pocono, something I had goofy with the shot. We came in under green flag to change tires and get the right front tire off the car. So unfortunately, there's some bad stuff that happens in this stuff sometimes.
They had forgotten to turn the nitrogen on. I think they used the nitrogen bottled nitrogen for the tires. They forgot to turn that on. The driver, when he pulled in, forgot to hold down the brake when they started to jack the car, so he slid off the jack. It was just, oh my God. I'll have to send you a link so you can watch it and have a good laugh.
Yeah. Like I said, it may be funny, but when you're in the car and it happens,
Oh no, you're probably red as a hornet.
not really.
That's right.
Well, Grant, let's go ahead and let you go, unless you got some more good news for us you want to let spill that nobody knows yet. We won't tell anybody.
That's it for now. So like I said, really been working hard on 2013. So hopefully we'll have some to fruition pretty soon on that. But so like I said, I appreciate all the opportunities I'm getting right now. Looking forward to running Kansas with K-Site Motor Honey and making the most out of everything.
Go ahead and run through all your sponsors again before we kick you out of here, okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, then.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Cool beans. Yeah, that was a big opportunity for him to run Brad's truck out there, and
It's turned you into an immediate fan of Grant's.
Oh yeah.
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely,
starting to like Ryan Blaney every day. I'm gonna get Grant on my bandwagon.
absolutely.
I mean, I enjoy the way Grant runs great in the ARCA series. Back when he was running, let's see here, he finished 4th back in 2011.
Right.
Average finish of 9th place, and I mean that's still a hard division as well.
That's right. It totally is. It totally is. All right.
Well, everybody have a good time?
Good show.
Good deal.
Good show.
Oh, let me go over here and start punching buttons.
Cool beans. Well, all right,
Watch
guys.
out. You never know what can happen.
No.
That's true.
Last time we turned green.
We can do that too. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching us on Let's Talk Racing tonight. Hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive a 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.